Alright, guys. Today we're going to talk about one of the most controversial things in archery, in all of archery, which is arrow setups. Yes, I don't know if you can see that, but that is a single bevel, fixed blade broadhead, 200 grain. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking in your head, why in the world does a guy that hunts whitetail using a 200 grain broadhead with a 100 grain insert on a heavy GPI shaft? And I'm going to tell you, it's because I only shoot 35 yards and in. Here in Pennsylvania, archery hunting, the average shot I would say you're going to get in an animal is 30 yards max, 35 where I hunt. I'm a timber guy. I like to be in the timber. I hunt a lot of mornings. I do hunt the afternoons, but everything I do, I push the bedding areas. I get close. I'm an aggressive hunter. So a lot of my shots are 30 yards and in. And why I do this is, and this is where it gets, is it ethical, is it not, is that quartering two shot. That's slightly quartering two. Well, that's slightly quartering two. I want to be able to put it as close as I can to that shoulder, and if things go wrong, have the setup to get through. I'm not worried about being back. I'm a shoulder hugger, or whatever you want to call it. I shoot closer to the shoulder than most guys. I'm not concerned about hitting back. If I hit back, that's on me. And I know crazy things happen. I'm not saying I'm a great shot. That's why I don't shoot 60 yards. But I want an arrow that I know, hey, if I hit a little front, or if I have a little different angle, or the deer moves, God forbid, how many times we see deer jump, I have a setup that if it hits heavy bone, we should be right. This arrow hits all of Dr. Ashby's 11 or 12 penetration. I should have looked that up. I think it's 12 things of penetration, hits every single one. It is a Ranch Fairy head. It is a Ranch Fairy broadhead. So, there's a lot of opinions on him, this, that, and the other thing. I know this. I'm a guy that I look at what he does as far as what his background is, and his background is keeping things alive and respiratory. His background's in respiratory medicine. Like he's a respiratory physical therapist, if I'm correct. So he knows what it takes to keep people alive and what the whole system looks like, and not even the whole respiratory system looks like, and not even the fact that he just builds heavy arrows. I don't see anybody else on YouTube going to that extreme of sharpening their heads and doing all the little things that he does. So that's kind of why I picked this as far as where I go. I don't think this setup is for everybody. I shoot a lot. I test a lot. I tinker with stuff a lot. If you're the average guy that shoots 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week all year, this might not be for you, because I can tell you there's been days I've shot 200 arrows trying to figure these things out. And there's a learning curve to getting this thing to fly with that, and bare shaft tuning, and learning how to fletch everything. It's not just, I'm going to do this in August. So if that's your hunting style, maybe this is what you want. I'm not here to tell you light arrows are bad, because I've seen a lot of guys kill a lot of deer with light arrows and mechanical heads. I have nothing against it. For the way I hunt, though, I don't like mechanical heads. I don't like moving parts. That's just how I am as far as heads. So another trick that I will do, I haven't done it yet, but once I sharpen these things up, I will add just a little bit of super glue in here and then glue these heads in, even though it's a really tight fit already, just so to make sure there's nothing that moves. I hand sharpen. I come from a butchering background. I worked in a poultry business for almost 2.5 years, full time, and it's a family business. So I've been involved in butchering chickens and turkeys and ducks since the time I was 12, And then you can go even back further than that. I used to help my dad and grandfather when I was a boy when we used to still butcher cattle and pigs for the winter. So I've been around knives and sharpening and doing all that my whole life. So when it came to broadheads, that was one thing that just made sense to me, was sharpening your broadhead. So I will say that is one thing that I do now that I used to not. It makes a huge difference, is sharpening. And I'm not just, okay, I'm going to run it on a little grindstone and then hit it with a steel and go out there. I now have a Straub. I'm getting these things really, really sharp. Any sharpening videos, go check out Ranch Fairy. He has all the sharpening videos you're going to need. But other than that, that's just how I run. Since I've switched to heavy arrows, this will be the heaviest this year. Same one that I used last year, but this will be the heaviest. The first year, this will be my third year using it. I shot 3 deer with it now, and combined, they went 100 yards. Combined, they've went 100 yards. So, a lot of times they don't even know what happened. The arrow zips right through them. They take 4 or 5 jumps and look. And then they start to, we all know what that, they start to get a little wobbly. And there's not much blood trailing I've had to do the last couple of years with these. So, yeah, I have shot deer with mechanicals. I've had great experiences with them, and I've had horrible experiences with them. A lot of it was probably too young to use mechanical. A lot of it was probably operator error. I was a younger kid. I was 15, 16. At the time, I was a stronger kid, so I could pull. At 15 years old, I could pull 65 pounds. So, for me, I was like, yeah, let's throw a mechanical on there, and let's run and gun. And probably, I know one shot I took was not a good shot at all. Like, I don't even know. It was my first shot I ever took at a deer. I don't even know if I stopped a deer. So, so I'm not blaming mechanicals. A lot of guys kill deer with mechanicals every year. I'm just saying for me and how I've now matured in hunting, and I'm still young. I'm only 23 years old. So I'm still young. I'm not an old hunter by any stretch of the imagination. But at my age, this is what I'm going with. And it's worked for me the past couple of years. It's not for everybody. I'm sure that people have great opinions on it. And at the end of the day, as long as you're out there and you trust your setup and you feel confident with it, I'm not here to tell you X, Y, and Z. I'm not here to tell you you have to shoot a 200 grain single bevel, or you have to shoot a 15% or more FOC. I'm not going to do it. This is my setup. I'm not here to tell you guys what you should and shouldn't do. It's what I'm running this year. And for me, I think this setup has worked the past couple of years. Like I said before, I'm going to shoot 35 yards and in. 35 yards and in. I'm not a guy that flings at 60 yards. Why? Because I don't trust myself shooting 60 yards. And I think there's a lot of variables at 60 yards. I think these deer in Pennsylvania are a little more jumpy than most deer. So 60 yards just is not an option for me. And it's not something that I feel confident in. So 35 and in. If something's at 37, yeah, okay. If the conditions are perfect, maybe. But 35 and in is what I want. And I practice at longer ranges. I shoot at 60 in the backyard, yeah, but not at a deer. So that's my setup. Like I said, I'm like 600. I don't know exactly. I think it's like it's over 630. It's between 630 and 640. 29.5 inch arrow. I do have a longer draw. I think I'm a 30-inch draw. So 29.5 inch arrow. I'm sure this thing is, I can probably jog faster than this arrow flies, but other than that, thank you guys. That's my opinions. If you have anything, if you think I'm an idiot, if you like my setup, comment down below. Let's try not to start a broadhead war here in Pennsylvania. In the city regions or the highly populated deer areas, archery season is 10 days away. I think it's September 6th today. So that's crazy. 10 days away from 5C, 5D, and then I forget which ones are out here in Pittsburgh. And then season opener in Ohio and Pennsylvania is 3 weeks away, right around the corner. So fun stuff, guys. Good luck to everybody this season. Thanks for all the support. You guys are awesome. But there's my arrow setup. God bless y'all and have a great day, and good luck this hunting season no matter what you're using, whether you're using a 700 grain single bevel or a 300 grain 2.5 inch mechanical. Doesn't matter. Good luck this season. Be confident with your equipment. Trust yourself. Just get out there. Get after it. All right. God bless you.